All rise. The Court is now in session. The Honorable Mary Kay O'Brien presiding.
You may be seated. Court is now in session. This is a preliminary note. We will suspend the rule regarding camera usage today, so feel free to click away to commemorate this morning. Good morning and congratulations to all of you. It's my honor to welcome you and to preside over this wonderful, life-changing day in your lives. I would first like to take a moment to thank the clerk of the court, Zach Hooper, along with Deputy Clerk Kim Lucari, Clerk Megan Gregory, as well as my administrative staff, Brenda Hagee and Matt Butler, for putting things together and for the opportunity to be here at the Third District Appellate Court in order to have this wonderful ceremony. You know, a lot of work goes into the lead up to this. It looks real easy when we just get to walk in and sit down and do our thing. So the hard work is greatly appreciated. Making sure that all of your licenses are actually here with your name on them is a big thing. And with that, I would also like to introduce Justice Robert Carter, retired Illinois Supreme Court member who is with us. And at this time, I will turn it over to presiding Justice Liam Brennan to introduce the members of the appellate court.
On behalf of myself and my colleagues on the Third District Appellate Court, we welcome you, your families and friends to our historic courthouse to celebrate this most exciting of days. My colleagues on the appellate court include Justice William Holdridge, Justice Lance Peterson, Justice Heddle, Justice Linda Davenport, Justice Matt Bertani, and John Anderson, who unfortunately could not be with us today.
Thank you, Justice Brennan. This time we will begin our ceremony by welcoming Sarah Toney, the third Vice President of the Illinois State Bar Association, who is going to, we are fortunate every year, State Bar, in addition to providing a wonderful reception and opportunity for all of you for membership, provides us with a speaker. And it's exciting to have Sarah here today with us. And you may proceed.
Thank you so much, Justice O'Brien. May it please the court. On behalf of the Illinois State Bar Association and our 28,000 members, it is my distinct pleasure to say the word that you've heard many times leading up to today. Congratulations. Your path to here has probably seemed very long, whether you've dreamt of this moment since you were a little kid or since you took the LSAT. But you are here, so I want you to please take a minute to sit back, appreciate all the hard work, and be proud of what you've done. We at the ISBA are glad to welcome you to the fold of lawyers. As a new admittee, each of you will receive a free one-year membership to the ISBA, along with membership to the Young Lawyers Division, which we call the YLD. The YLD is home to people who've been practicing for less than 10 years. And you get two other sections of your choice, whether it's practice specific like criminal law or family law, or something more general about solo and small firm practice, for instance. As Justice O'Brien alluded to, we are hosting a reception right out there immediately after the ceremony, and you're all invited. We also have a table with some freebies and information about your membership. Please stop by and say hello and take some photos, especially if you want to get on the ISBA social media. So 28,000 members sounds like a big organization. And today you're probably singularly focused on the next step, which is your job. But it's not too big to get started with now. Within it, you'll find smaller communities, whether it's young lawyers or another committee of your practice area. And it is very small. The YLD really supports each other, but really you only need one friend, one friendly face. So find a buddy, whether it's somebody who's here with you today, whether it's somebody from work, or whether it's somebody from law school, and make a commitment to go to one event together. And if they have an event that they want to go to, excuse me, go with them to that event. And pretty soon, excuse me, you'll feel more confident attending events because you'll know more and more people. And that's how you start to improve your professional career. Remember that small steps can reap huge benefits. As I said, I know you're focused on starting work and being just a lawyer, but there are more things to come. There are more things than just the 9-to-5 job. ISBA provides you the opportunity to say, I'm a published author, because every month our sections publish newsletters that they welcome authors to. It provides you the opportunity to say, I've been appointed to a committee or a section council by the president of the Bar Association. You can have a change or a voice in legislation. When I was on traffic law, we helped write the bill that is in Illinois now that got videotaping of all traffic stops. You could be a speaker at a CLE in the future. You could chair a section. You get to know your judges, your opposing counsel, and sometimes even justices of the Supreme Court and the appellate court away from the courtroom. One time at an ISBA meeting, I found myself toasting a bagel next to the current Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And I thought, this is my moment. At the time, I was teaching at Loyola Law School, and I thought, I just need to work up the nerve to ask her if she would give my law students a private session at the Supreme Court. I asked her and she agreed. And my law students, about 4 months later, had a private session at the Supreme Court in Chicago. Being a part of the Bar Association also gets you referrals. And all of these things make you a better lawyer, because being a lawyer doesn't start and end at your 9-to-5 job. Whether you're working for a company, a big firm, a small firm, you have become a resource now. People will start to come to you, and maybe they already have, and you were like, wait, I'm just still in law school. But now they will come to you as a lawyer. Your communities, your families, at holiday parties, you may be the closest thing that someone has to legal help. So sometimes soon, even your clients will ask for referrals, and it might not be your area. And it probably won't be, because the common things that we see, whether it's criminal or family law or eviction, we probably don't do all of those things, but it's your job to build your network so that you can become a resource for those people and get them the help that they need by referring them to somebody who can help them. You already have your friends from law school. Next, you will make your new friends from work. But the bigger the network that you build through associations, the more helpful you'll be and the bigger difference you will make. Finally, remember that everyone sitting here today has the same feeling of not knowing exactly what they're doing when you walk into your first day of work tomorrow. It's what you do with that feeling that separates you from other people sitting here. If you use it as motivation to learn, to teach yourself, to get better, learn from the inevitable mistakes you will make, you will succeed. If you wallow in the idea that you don't know enough, that law school didn't teach you enough, that you don't have enough experience, that will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So use the resources around you, whether it's through your law firm or ISBA or any other bar association. Other associations in the ISBA connect you to lawyers throughout the state through listservs where there are no dumb questions. Even what side of the courtroom do I stand on in DuPage in room 4001? These are the things that you worry about that you need to know. And there are lawyers throughout the state ready to help you and answer those questions. Don't be afraid to go outside your school friend group and make new friends in the profession, because you will need each other. Whether it's a shoulder to lean on, whether it's to complain about your day at work, whether it's help with the law, whether it's just someone to go out and blow off steam with, you do need each other. So be open to new experiences, be open to accepting help, and get ready for a career that you can be proud of. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for those wonderful, inspiring remarks. Even though this is a day of celebration, this is truly a court proceeding. And like most things in court, usually someone has to make a motion, move something so that we have something to rule on. And with that, our first motion to admit the class will be given by Kim Thielbar, the Director of Pro Bono Services at Prairie State Legal Services.
Thank you, Justice O'Brien. May it please the court. I want to start by echoing a lot of Sarah's words. First, by saying congratulations to all the new attorneys in the room. I know you've spent many years working tirelessly toward this goal, so congratulations on making it here today. And also to all the family and friends in the room. I know that you have probably suffered through this process as well. And without your love and support, these new attorneys may not be here today. So congratulations to you as well on this accomplishment. It is an honor for me to be part of this ceremony, and an honor that I would never have anticipated at my own swearing-in ceremony many years ago. But there are many things in my career that I would not have anticipated when I was sitting at my own swearing-in ceremony. And that is one of the great things about the legal profession. It can open so many doors to you that you don't even know are possible as you're sitting here right now. So I would not have gotten to where I am without some of the connections in the community that Sarah spoke of. So I would encourage all of you to take advantage, starting today, make connections with the different bar association leaders that are here, get to know them, grow that network. Because you never know where it may lead you. In addition to the many opportunities that your law license will provide to you, however, there are a lot of responsibilities that come with that. As Sarah mentioned, your friends and family will ask you for legal advice. Strangers will ask you for legal advice. My kids' daycare teachers have on more than one occasion asked me for legal advice. You know things that other people don't know. You have the ability to do things that other people cannot do. And that is a great responsibility that you are accepting when you receive your law license. So I may be biased because I've spent my career working in legal aid and now run a pro bono program, but I think it is all of our responsibility as attorneys to try to give back with our law license in addition to just pursuing your career. That can take many forms, whether that's working in civil legal aid yourself, working in the public sector, doing pro bono work, or just donating money. But I encourage all of you to find those opportunities to use your law license to give back and to help the community around you. There are many, many, many people in this state who need an attorney, and far fewer attorneys. So you are joining a small, in some counties, very, very small group of attorneys who have the ability and the resources to provide that help. So I encourage you to find ways to give back where you can. And so with that, I will turn to the real reason I am here. Justice O'Brien, may it please the court. The candidates before you have completed the requisite educational requirements, met the rigorous ethical standards, and successfully passed the examinations on professional responsibility and academic qualifications for admissions to this bar as required by the rules of the Illinois Supreme Court. On behalf of all licensed attorneys in Illinois, I move the court to admit and license these candidates as attorneys and counselors at law in the state of Illinois.
Thank you. And like all good motions, there needs to be a second. And at this time, I would ask Jeremiah Adams, who is the president of the LaSalle County Bar Association, where we are currently sitting today, to come in and make the second to the motion.
Justice O'Brien, other justices, may it please the court. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to LaSalle County. I'm Jeremiah Adams. As indicated, I'm the president of the LaSalle County Bar Association. While the ISBA has 28,000 members, we don't have 280 members. But while we are small in population and small in lawyer size, we are big in history, and you're sitting in the middle of some of it right here. You know, the Lincoln Douglas debates have started here in Ottawa, Illinois. So although, as I indicated, it's small, we're big in history and legal tradition. So I welcome you and congratulate you on your accomplishments thus far. So law school has taught you what you need to know to think like a lawyer. Now you're going to be released into the wild and have to learn how to be a lawyer yourself. And so an interesting part of being a second of a motion is that you get to see how other people present prior to you. However, in this case, they also have a tendency to have taken some of the things that I wanted to say. So instead, what I will say is that one of the most important resources you're going to have as a lawyer moving forward is the people around you, the people you practice with. And it's not just the people who work with you, it's the people who work against you. It's the people who work in different practice areas. You cannot, moving forward, pretend that you can do this by yourself. You can't. So whether you're in a small community or whether you're in a massive community, you have to seek help and find mentors and people who will teach you how the practice is done. We are releasing you into the wild today. And if I'd have told you 20 years ago that I would be standing here in front of the guy who gave me my first job doing this presentation, I'd have told you were a liar. But ultimately, here we are today, and here you are today. And I congratulate you on all the things you've accomplished, but you have work ahead of you now. So with that in place, good luck. You're leaving here today, if this motion is granted, with a license to change the world. Use it responsibly. And at this time, I would second the motion to admit the class.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. The motion has been made and seconded. At this time, I'm going to take that motion under advisement and give an opportunity to my fellow justices from the appellate court to respond to that motion. Begin with presiding Justice Brennan.
So as Mr. Adams mentioned, we are sitting in a tremendously historic place. The cornerstone of this building was laid in 1857. It was finished in 1860. And we have these two photos. Everybody recognizes Abraham Lincoln. Across is what they call the little giant, Stephen Douglas. And I suppose these portraits are here because in that park right across from the courthouse in 1858 was the first Lincoln-Douglas debate, which of course foreshadowed everything that was horrible that followed in terms of the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln is interesting to me because his life as a lawyer before he was president provides a lot of lessons that can be gleaned, I think, for your legal careers. You know, he handled a remarkable amount of diverse cases. His practice spanned civil, criminal, appellate law. He worked in state and federal courts. And in considering these cases, one of the things that I can't help but reflect upon is that he picked unpopular cases often and sometimes advocated for positions that were surely contrary to what he personally believed. And there's plenty of examples, but a couple are worth pointing out. In People versus Armstrong, he defended a fellow named William Duff Armstrong, a young man accused of murder and generally believed and probably was guilty of the offense. But Lincoln took the case as a favor to his mother, who was a personal friend, and he won the case. In Sprague versus Illinois River Railroad, as he did many times, Lincoln represented railway cases. This was unpopular, though, because in these small towns, farmers, what were railroads doing? They were cutting through, taking control of people's land through eminent domain, and it wasn't always a popular position to take. In Bailey versus Cromwell, at a time when these types of issues were controversial, Lincoln successfully argued for the freedom of a young girl named Nance, a Black girl who was being exploited as a slave in Illinois when Illinois was a free state. She was free. But in Matson versus Rutherford, Lincoln represented the slave owner, a Kentucky slaveholder who argued that the slaves he had brought into Illinois should not be freed because he only brought them there temporarily. Fortunately, Lincoln lost that case. We'll do a plug for the courts who ruled against Lincoln. You know, the point of this is that in recognizing that Lincoln didn't shy away from difficult or unpopular cases, we're reminded that one of the most fundamental principles of a just legal system is that everyone is entitled to legal representation, regardless of how unpopular, controversial, or morally questionable they might be. You know, if lawyers refuse to represent unpopular clients, the legal system ceases to be fair and impartial. Justice has to be based on the evidence and the law, not emotion or sentiment. Indeed, governments and institutions are more likely to abuse power when the unpopular are denied representation. By defending the outcast, lawyers act as a check on authority and make sure that legal standards are not selectively employed. In democratic nations, the rights like due process, the presumption of innocence, freedom of speech, these have to apply to everybody, but if we only defend the popular or the sympathetic, these rights lose their meaning. The point I think I'm trying to make is that Abraham Lincoln's legal career reminds us that serving as a lawyer, what you all get to do from this day forward, requires courage. Lawyers play a vital role in defending the unpopular, not because we condone the actions of our clients, but because a just legal system depends on fairness, impartiality, and access to competent representation. In Lincoln's time, as in ours, the strength of the legal profession is measured not by how it treats the favored, but how it protects the rights of the most vulnerable, the reviled. Our hope for you is that your legal career brings not only much personal satisfaction, but that if and when your legal practice calls upon you to exercise courage, whether in little things or in big things, that your training and Lincoln's example fortifies you to make the right decisions. Good luck in all that you accomplish as you embark on this most excellent adventure. Thank you.
Thank you, Justice. And next we'll hear from Justice Holdridge.
Thank you, Justice Bryan. I wish you the very best in your careers. I want to second the State Bar Association Third Vice President's advice. Take advantage of that free membership because thereafter it's an escalating membership. And the annual meeting will be in Lincolnshire. Lincolnshire. And I encourage you to go up there, introduce yourself, get involved in the State Bar Association. See the lay of the land because you're going to learn so much of those meetings. And you're going to be looking for mentors. And that's the place to find them as well. And so I wish you all the very best in your career. And I congratulate you, as I'm sure everyone else has today. And we look forward to seeing you here in our course and practice law in the state of Illinois. Congratulations.
Justice Hedl.
I didn't know we were all speaking today.
Surprise, surprise.
Yes, I guess the main thing I would say is congratulations. It's a very special day. I can remember in 30 years now since I was born, and it wasn't this time of year. But just the pride that I felt and my family felt at that time. Relish that and enjoy the day and prepare your legal career tomorrow. Have a good day.
Justice Peters.
It's hard to find anything to say after everyone has said some of them just common sense things, but today is your day. I congratulate all of you. The practice of law is genuinely an honor. Okay, and always think of it like that. So as you go forward, if you just always work hard, be honorable, be confident, but also be gracious. If you do those four things from now to the day you retire, you will do very well. So congratulations.
Good. Justice Davenport.
You're a baby. This is my 46th year as a lawyer. My husband's 51st year as a lawyer, and he just started a new job last October. We love the law. Both our daughters are lawyers. My brother, my son-in-law. The law was just part of our life, though, and it's just going to be part of your lives. It's not everything, but it's a huge part of it. We raised our family. We served on the Wheaton City Council. We became active in our bar association in a local. I went on to become the president of our bar association, like Karen Mills sitting over there. We did many things. We worked with the homeless. We did many parts of it. And that's what the law gives you the right to do. It gives you the freedom to think, how can I use my degree to do something else? It gave me the freedom to build a practice, to get out of myself and to figure out how to help others. That's a gift. There's no other profession that gives you that opportunity. Any other profession, you can just sit around. The law makes you want to do more and more and more and just never stop. So I really, really give you the gift of movement and joy in what you do. Don't ever stop and don't ever think it's enough. I wish you the best.
And now Justice Bertani.
Thanks, Justice Settle. I thought I was the only one who was uninformed today. I come from a family where my father was a lawyer, but I didn't actually want to be a lawyer until my high school years. He was working on a expansion of a landfill, and the way he prepared for that hearing, that took several weeks, is him and his expert camped at our house and worked all day, and then had a few beers at night, I will say. But the realization came to me at that point in time, if that old buzzard, he was 40 at the time, can learn something new at that stage in his life, that's for me. And that's what this profession is about. You through mentorship, you through connections, you through networking, will have, and through the clients that you choose, will have innumerable opportunities to learn something new, to always evolve. And that's what I think is the wonderful part about this profession. The importance of networking, I cannot overstate it. Who knows? I mean, I had no idea 35 years ago in a small courthouse in Grundy County that a woman that I met, sitting in the middle, by the way, would change my life in 2025. But it happened. So you never know who's, who will be on your side going forward. So take advantage of that. And lastly, there aren't many stupid questions to ask them.
Thank you, Justice Bertani. As you might suspect, when you get into a room of lawyers and judges with a couple microphones and an audience, that you're going to get some speeches, you're going to get some words of wisdom. And as I suspect, as we are moving along in our program, that most of you are wondering, when do we get to go celebrate with our families and our friends? And hey, I have to go back to work because I just took a job. So I guess, as you can hear, my voice is a little strained, and I am recovering from a bout of laryngitis. The loss of my voice is your gain, because you're going to gain a few extra minutes as my remarks will be a little bit shorter. But first, let me start off by saying congratulations again. No matter what your journey here looked like, you made it here because of your intellect, your hard work, your support system, and perseverance. You should be very, very proud of your accomplishment. So take the time to savor it. Remember to take the time to appreciate all the sacrifices that you made and the help that you received along the way. Be intentional in thanking people that helped and encouraged you. And sometimes it's important to remember the people that maybe were your biggest naysayers, because whether you want to admit it or not, they helped propel you here too. And that's an important thing to remember. But my biggest thing to say to you is remember that now is not the time to coast. Your license is a privilege. It's not a right. Work at developing your skills. Pay attention to the details and strive every single day to practice at the top of your license. The hardest thing that we do on the Supreme Court is we discipline attorneys. And that usually happens, you read a story and you think, oh, what a horrible person. They're generally not horrible people. They are generally people that let something get in their way. Maybe they were afraid to ask a question. Maybe they took a case that they didn't know enough about to really handle it. Maybe they let anxiety or depression or the other struggles you might face in our profession get the best of them. And they made a mistake that cost them what they had worked so hard, just like you've worked to get there. Don't let that happen to you. It doesn't have to. This time I want everybody that's here representing a bar association to stand up. We are the benefactors in this state of some of the best legal minds and legal talents in the country. Whether you are here on behalf of the Illinois State Bar Association or one of our local bar associations. We have the Will County Women's Bar, the Will County Bar Association, the DuPage County Bar Association, the DuPage Women's Bar, I believe, is also here, and the LaSalle County Bar. I want you to look at them because you should be very invested, not just in the state bar, but in your local bar organizations. So please, let's give them a round of applause. You're going to get something different from the state bar that you get from your local bar associations. Relationships matter. Take advantage of them, learn new skills, but also, you figure out the what's what and the who's who and what judges are, sticklers. You better not walk into the courtroom late, or that give you a little slack, or want to hear a personal story, or maybe have gone through a hard time. Those things matter. They matter in all of life. Learn from them. They also become a resource. You need to ask for help when you need it. So get involved, let them help, develop relationships with other practitioners. They will remind you, if nothing else, that you're not alone in this. Sometimes we think that what we're going through, no one else would understand, so we try to keep it to ourselves. But that's just not true. Let others be a valuable resource to you as you navigate this journey through the very best profession there is. I don't care what anybody says or if you hear a joke, but we are in the people business. We help people when they have nowhere else to turn. You're going to find out that what you consider routine in just a very short period of time is going to be the biggest thing that's ever happened to your client. So you might not understand why they feel so anxious or whatever, but because they're depending on you, you need to remember that this is the biggest event. They're never going to forget who you are. And just as Justice Davenport said, you need to remember that the profession's a big part of your life, and I hope it always will be, but it's just that. It's part. Don't ignore the rest of your life. You've probably ignored your friends and your family that are here today celebrating with you a lot over the past 3 or so years. So make time for them. When you put your work down, put your work phone down too. Carve that time out. Let your clients know, just set it as an expectation that, there's going to be some times that I'll get back to you within 24 hours, but it doesn't have to be within 24 seconds. Set some clear and reasonable boundaries so that when you're looking back across your life, you're going to see a vast and varied life experience. It's helped others and that gave you tools to be the best version of yourself. Because that's really what this is about. When you are if you give your best every single day to the world, that best is going to come back to you. But you have to be your best first. So pay some attention to yourself and to the rest of your life. And lastly, on behalf of the Supreme Court, we wish you the very, very best in this journey. This is a profession that you can obviously see has benefited all of us and so many others. And we're delighted to welcome you and to watch you turn your talents and energies into the best version of yourself. Congratulations. With that, I've had some time to think about the motion that was made, and I really like what was said. I like what I heard in response from my former colleagues. I spent 19 years here on the appellate court, right in this building, before I went to the Supreme Court. And with that, finding that all of you possess the requisite skills, you have been determined to have met the ethical standards and all of the other provisions the law requires. I am going to rule in favor of the motion. And as we begin to proceed to the oath and the presentation of licenses, I want to direct you all that we are fortunate, as I said about bar associations and their kindness and how they're going to help you. Haley Olson with the DuPage County Bar Association and their director, Robert Rupp, are so kind. They're going to take everyone's picture. You are going to get a real photo, not something that I took or something that, you know, your mom's gonna try and take on the hurry. So the nice part about being sworn in here in May, like I was a long time ago, is that it's very individual. So you're gonna have some time to get your photo taken. We're going to, you'll all rise, we'll do your oath together, and then you will process and you will receive your actual license. And with that, I do grant the motion. You will all be admitted to the practice of law here in Illinois. And without further ado, why don't we stand and get this part over? Okay, so raise your right hand. I can almost see this without my glasses. So I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge duty of the office of attorney and counselor at law to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
Yes. Whoever goes down there. Brad was there. Brad down. Just.
You can rise as your name is called. Nicole Catherine Augustine. Peter Stefan Farner.
Congratulations.
Doing like.
Colton Robert Jamico.
Congratulations.
Cheever. Alec Isowicz.
I'm not gonna try. That one.
Anna Kroll.
Congratulations.
Carl Anthony Lang. Mitchell Haskins Lee. Amy Elizabeth Lenkowicz. Wei Luau.
Congratulations.
Maros Mohammed.
Congratulations.
Nicole O'Donnell.
Congratulations.
Fabia K. Pathak.
Congratulations.
Perla Pedrosa.
Congratulations.
Faith Pauline Pledger. Amber Siddiqui. Connor Joseph Scrid.
Did you hire Anna? Sure.
Tamar Walker.
Having done the presentation of the licenses, court is now adjourned. Congratulations, everyone.
Everyone, please rise. Court stands adjourned.
Overall.
Yes.